What is good, guys? Matt from Duality Gaming here, giving you another Duality Gaming news video, episode 6, and I'm bringing you 4 pieces of news slash discussion slash something else I want to get off my chest. So the first thing, it is 5, but I just got confused a little bit. First thing I want to get off my chest: Tomb Raider, the Rise of Tomb Raider has not been cancelled or talked about for the PS4. Square Enix hasn't mentioned it, so don't believe all these Xbox fanboys are saying, oh, because it's not showing up anywhere and it wasn't mentioned at E3, that it will not come out. Now, they said last year it was going to come out fall 2016. Are we in fall? No, we're at the start of July. Why in hell's name would they overhype a game that is already out? What are they going to offer? They can give you all the DLC you want, but they're not going to be able to hype a game that's already been out for 2 platforms from June. So don't listen to those idiots like Kid Smooth or whatever his name is, and Crap Gamer. They're talking out their ass, especially Crap Gamer. He just talks shit. So yeah, it's not cancelled. I don't know why people are thinking that. So yeah, Rise of Tomb Raider, it probably is still coming out for the PlayStation 4 in holiday 2016. Why I say that is because PlayStation 4 supposedly has 40 million consoles in people's homes. So why the hell would Square Enix not put it on the PS4 if it was only a timed exclusive? They wouldn't. That would be a stupid economical move on their part. Okay, it wasn't selling very well at the start. It sold quite well on PC and Xbox, but how can you ignore 40 million people? That is just something they won't do, and clearly those motherfuckers have not thought that through. So don't listen to them. As far as I'm aware, and no one's really spoken about it officially, it's just these Xbox fuckers just talking out their ass. Anyway, moving on from that. All of the Little Big Planet servers are shutting down in Japan and some in Europe too. Now, basically, starting July 1st, Little Big Planet 1, 2, 3, Portable, Vita, Karting, all of those servers are going to go down in Japan, and I think some of them are going down in Europe, so there's going to obviously be less functionality of the game, so you can't play other people's levels and whatnot. Could this mean the end of Little Big Planet? As a question we must ask. Could this be a sign that Little Big Planet will no longer be a PlayStation exclusive? Maybe it will not be made, maybe it will be put on the shelf, kind of like Spyro was, or Crash Bandicoot. Now I know obviously they went on to do other things, but you kind of catch my drift in terms of that, or Fat Princess or Parappa the Rapper. Maybe it's time that they're kind of hanging out their boots for the Little Big Planet series, and the servers going down is just a way of showing there is no more support for that exclusive. Tell me what you think about that down below, and just give your thoughts and opinions on that. Personally, it's quite sad to see it go. It was one of the defining exclusives for me in the PlayStation 3, and it's definitely a great PlayStation 4 game. Obviously, I think it really shined on the PlayStation 3. But yeah, tell me what you think about that down below. Are you sad? Are you happy? Did you play Little Big Planet? Didn't you? Just tell me all that down below. I always ask you to put like a fuck ton down below. It's almost like making you do an essay. Anyway, going on from that, something my co-producer obviously will love, and I think this is quite significant to gaming news and gaming history. Basically, the Street Fighter V competition at EVO 2016 will be broadcast on ESPN2. It will be live streamed and being able to watch on ESPN. I think it's just the finals will be broadcast, but you can check out the TV spot. The link will be in the description for this article. Now, I think this is really significant because you've got gaming showing up on a sports channel. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna ever say esports is the same as sports. There's no other way. You play rugby is completely different to playing, COD. You're gonna fucking hurt. You're gonna get hurt if you play rugby. With COD, you're not gonna feel the fucking bullet wound. It's virtual versus reality essentially. But I think this is really significant for gaming to go on TV because it clearly shows that gaming has become such a big media that it actually deserves a spot on the television. And it shows with how much money the gaming industry makes, and it just goes further to show that if it's being broadcast on TV, it clearly has some significance on culture and social life if it's able to go on this. So tell me what you think about that down below. I think that's one of the most the most significant pieces of gaming history right there, and I think it may be a stepping stone for something. Now I remember there used to be a time, there used to be an actual TV channel that was just for gaming, and it used to show competitions, even not sports. It showed competitions, and I used to love watching it as a child. So maybe that would make a return. Maybe it'll be a resurgence. We never know. I don't watch TV, but it's nice to have that there. Anyway, going on from that, it's more of a discussion from Kotaku. Basically, one of these editors were talking about game demos have become way too uncommon. Now, what he says from that is that there was a free demo for Doom revealed right away, and it was supposed to like be removed already, but it's proven popular, and a bit of Taste of Doom was announced at E3 and like trended in the news. But since when we did the demo become something to be celebrated? Basically, this is talking about, we're in an age now where if you remember the start, like if you remember the PS2 discs, the PS1 discs and the magazines, for a large part of the PS3 generation, demos used to be a bigger thing, where like you go on the store or you get in a magazine, you download this little bit of the game, you play it, and that's kind of how you get your way. Now, if you actually think about it, can anyone really mention any AAA games that have been had a demo recently? Now, obviously Doom is one of them, but if you think about it, it's not. I just smashed my iPad on the desk like a smart person. If you think about it, there's not really any more compared to like 2009. So I think that's what he's getting at there, where they have become way too uncommon, but they've been replaced by betas. And for the large part, I think a big problem of the demos becoming a lot more uncommon is the fact that we're getting recycled games a lot. Why the hell would you need a demo for Assassin's Creed anymore when every Assassin's Creed, well, you know what Assassin's Creed is by this point. You know what Call of Duty is by this point. Battlefield kind of play the beta thing. Well, DICE play the whole beta thing, you know. A lot of these are more established things that have just been recycled, and we get a lot less new IPs. Nintendo were quite good at doing demos, but they still were quite shit at the same time. I know it was kind of like contradicting myself, but if you look at the Wii U eShop, you get what I mean. 3DS was a better like edition of it. So yeah, I do agree with what this person's saying. Demos have become way too uncommon. They've come to the point of where like they're almost celebrated because they just don't really happen anymore, because these developers just expect you like their AAA games to sell. So what's the point of giving someone a demo? So that's what I think of that. I think it has become a lot more uncommon, and it's kind of sad to see it go, because it's a lot harder to know what a game is like if there's no demo as well. So I think that could impact sales. Anyway, moving on to the next bit of news, and it's the biggest news coming out of pretty much this week, and I'm surprised it wasn't announced at E3, but I think this is rumoured. Yeah, it's rumoured, and if it is true, then I'm surprised it wasn't announced at E3. Basically, Sony may announce a PlayStation 4 Slim. Now, this is all speculation and rumour, but apparently some people talking in the Wall Street Journal saying this is going to be a thing. Basically, Sony are going to be releasing a slimmed down model in September. Now, the problem is this also could be talking about the Japanese game show that takes place between the 15th and 18th of September, which he probably is most likely talking about in some regard. It could even be the Neo being showed off at that time. But hey ho, the Neo could be a slim version of the PS4 and still be more powerful. But let's just take this for a little ride, essentially. It is not unlike Sony to release a slimmed down version of a console they already have. It happened with the PlayStation 1, it happened with the PlayStation 2, it happened twice with the PlayStation 3. So for Sony to, you know, make a slimmed down version of a console they already have would not be out of the norm for Sony. Now, I made a joke earlier to Doris about it kind of being a bit like Microsoft in a way of, you know, Microsoft like S coming out, or Xbox One S even. So if that is true, then that could be a thing, but I wouldn't understand why Sony would want to release a slimmed down model when the Neo is apparently going to be released around that time. That doesn't make sense. Now, this is obviously rumour, and obviously take it with a massive, massive grain of salt. You know what, fuck it, get a bottle of salt. That's what you need to take it with. I think it could literally be the Neo he is talking about, if he is talking about a console, and if he's actually right. The Neo could actually be slimmer than the PS4, as well as, you know, more powerful. That is a possible thing, but we'll have to wait and see. Tell me what you think down below about all these news, you know, all this news from the Rise of Tomb Raider not being on PS4, which is just literally a pile of shit delivered to you. A lot of these Xbox fans love to lie because they don't really have much to talk about most of the time. Tell me what you think about Street Fighter being on the TV. Tell me what you think about like demos not being as common as they did. And tell me, do you think Sony, like the Neo, is going to be a slim model, or do you think Sony are going the Microsoft approach of having 3 different consoles, like a big one, a slim one, and a more powerful one? Tell me all those things down below. Tell me if you like this format of the video, obviously. Now, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me and Doris out. Check out the Facebook and check out the Instagram for not so daily updates, and ultimately guys, as I always say, have a nice day.